Ah, finally finished Marvel's Spider-Man 2. What the hell was that? Now don't get me wrong, this was a great game, but when talking about an alien invasion story, this doesn't even come close to topping a game that came out 15 years ago. Developed by Locomotive Games and published by THQ, Destroy All Humans Big Willy Unleashed released in 2008 for the Wii and the PlayStation 2. Now this game holds a special place in my heart because it has the title Big Willy in it, and it released on the Wii. And both of those names are hilarious. Ah shit, wait, wrong invasion story. We're talking about Spiderman Web of Shadows. This game tells the story of Venom launching a full-blown invasion to take over the world, and Venom, why is that name so familiar? Ah, 19 inches of venom. God, that was so funny, wasn't it?
Hey, shut up! You're like the 26 millionth person to type this fucking joke into the internet!
Now, you might be like me, and after finishing Marvel's Spider-Man 2, you really didn't have that urge to go back and replay it straight away. However, once I finished playing through Spider-Man Web of Shadows, that's all I wanted to do. And so this got me thinking, what is the difference between these two games? Why did I immediately want to jump back into one, but not the other? It then dawned on me that it's because Web of Shadows not only does the symbiote invasion story better, but it's just more fun to play through. Now, in terms of its story, what is it about Web of Shadows that still reigns supreme over Marvel's Spider-Man 2? Well, unlike Marvel Spider-Man 2, Web of Shadows doesn't feel fragmented. In Spider-Man 2, it feels like you have very clear chapters that are almost separated from one another. You have very clear Kraven parts, you then have the black suit portion, you have the full-blown Venom part, and then the symbiote invasion story is packed right at the end. You very quickly move on from one segment to another, and it's almost like the game doesn't really let you sit with these moments and absorb what's going on because it's already moved on to the next big thing. You don't feel the impact of the invasion because you never sit with it for that long. Notable characters aside from Harry and MJ don't actually interact with the symbiotes that much or get taken over. The only people that do get taken over by these symbiotes are nameless and faceless civilians, and because you have no emotional attachments to the civilians, therefore them being taken over holds no emotional impact. Now in Web of Shadows, yes, many civilians get infected and taken over with the symbiotes, however, so too do many notable characters, both heroes and villains alike. More on that in a bit. Web of Shadows, at least to me, wanted players to solely play in the sandpit that is the symbiote invasion story. Other characters do pop up like they do in Spider-Man 2, but they do so in the context of solving the overarching story, which is that invasion. They service this story. Their appearance never took away from that, and each appearance is woven into this invasion. I mean, even the start of Web of Shadows is just so much stronger. Don't get me wrong, the Sandman opening was great, but Web of Shadows starts you off with a Spider-Man that's visibly broken, walking very nonchalantly, while absolute chaos is just breaking out around him. This cold opening instantly makes players go, hey, what the fuck happened to my Spider-Man? Why is he all up in the sads? Did they make Mary Jane competent again? Is this another woke game pushing the woke agenda? Yeah, don't worry incels, we fucking see you, you bunch of weirdos. No, it actually turns out that Spider-Man doesn't actually care about that sort of stuff, but in fact, a giant alien invasion threatening all of human life as we know it has got him down in the dumpers. Feeling the weight of the world's survival on your shoulders, where every second counts, every option quickly depleting, it's enough to make anyone a little moody. Now you also do see this large military presence on the ground, so you know shit is going down.
All units, my tummy hurts. I'm gonna need a warm blankie and a cup of hot chalky.
After you see this, the game takes you back 4 days to where it all began. And what an incredible hook this is. Most Spider-Man games set you out on your adventure, starting at the beginning, taking you through the middle, and finishing at the end. But not Web of Shadows. It shows you the absolute chaos that you're gonna work your way to, and just further increases that intrigue and your desire to play to find out exactly what is happening. Now when talking about the story of this game, it's a little hard to do so because it's kind of like, what story do you want? There are branching paths in this game, as in the player actually gets a choice in the direction of the narrative and how allegiances are changed and how relationships are impacted, and the overall ending can change, only further providing more replayability to an already compelling game? Yes, exactly all of that, yes. But not even that, your allegiances with certain characters can change, even going so far as to dictate who does or doesn't survive in certain ordeals. These decisions now have meaning, which not only makes a player truly consider the options when the prompts come up, but it also increases your overall immersion. Did I pick the right option? Did I just cement a character's death? Will I still get my thick goth mummy at the end of it? Who knows? You just gotta keep playing. Now, when I say different endings, I mean completely different. One of the good endings has Peter and MJ swing off into the sunset where everything is resolved and it's all fine and dandy.
Oh my god. Are you narrating? I'm narrating!
But one of the bad endings sees Peter become the overlord of the symbiotes. You know how badass it was having this level of freedom to choose the narratives as you play, and then to have endings be truly different rather than have them all lead back into the same resolve? I was so disappointed that there wasn't a morality system in Marvel Spider-Man 2 because it would have been perfect. Now, to further add to this, these decisions actually change how you interact with particular characters and how they see you in this game. One great example of this is when you help Wolverine, who is infected with a symbiote, and it's up to you to actually get that off him. The good route helps him out this way.
Look, I didn't mean literally get it out. Doesn't that hurt?
Yeah, like hell.
I'll be with you in a minute. And thanks.
And the evil route, well, just take a look.
Kill you for this.
Wolverine is safe. Get back here and pick him up.
And it's moments like these that are peppered throughout the game that provide a true shock factor while playing. Based on your choice, Eddie Brock can either sacrifice himself as he realizes what he's done and that the symbiote has just gone beyond anything he can control, or the evil ending is, well,
So long, Brock.
I can only dream that a modern Spider-Man game has the balls to do this kind of shit in this day. Also, just while we're talking about Venom, seeing Eddie and Venom either become aware that the symbiote is now too big even for him to control and to sacrifice himself just gave his character so much more depth. But because so much happens in Spider-Man 2 even before Venom pops up, he feels entirely underdeveloped, underutilized, and one-dimensional. Now, having characters interact with you differently based on the Spider-Man that you're deciding to play is so important as well. What this does is it makes players want to replay your game to see what other options are out there. Insomniac's Spider-Man story is great, but because it's geared to one story and one outcome, there is no deviating paths. There's no more surprises on your second playthrough. And there is a real sense of diminishing returns, something which is absent on your second, third, hell, even your fourth playthrough on Web of Shadows. The world you'll be playing in Web of Shadows also feels much more lived in, with a rich supply of other characters and Easter eggs, and it's not in the annoying way how Insomniac Spider-Man 2 does it. Spider-Man 2 gives you the Avengers Towers, but no Avengers. It gives you Fantastic Four's Baxter Building, but no Fantastic Four. Doctor Strange's magical staff gets stolen and used as a mechanic in the game, and Doctor Strange still doesn't turn up. Now, in the first game, I was kind of like, okay, cool, like it's pretty cute. You're adding these Marvel characters into the game. Haha, we get it. These are existing characters. But when you have a full-blown invasion and you're cementing these characters so firmly into your world, it creates an instant disconnect. Where the fuck is Fantastic Four? Where the fuck is Doctor Strange? Where the fuck are the Avengers? Where is anyone when the whole of New York is being taken over? Like, there is no way that these characters are all in the same city and don't help out. So either bring them in or stop showing their buildings. Now, Web of Shadows, on the other hand, isn't shy about who they bring in, and they actually have a lot of characters. I mean, shit, how long do we have to talk about this? Now, you do get some Easter eggs to characters that don't show up, like Iron Man, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, and many other notable characters are mentioned, which only adds to the richness of this world and quickly gives you a sense that you are playing in a game or a world that's not so Spider-Man centric. But you also get a huge bunch of supporting characters that actually show up. You have Luke Cage, Black Cat, Moon Knight, Wolverine, S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up, Black Widow does too, and this is just to name a few. And you also get some great Spider-Man villains come up in this game, something like Vulture and Electro. And hey, imagine this, not killing them off screen. Imagine killing characters off screen. This prospect and possibility of any Marvel character appearing was not only exciting to anticipate, but it kept the player on their toes. It wasn't bogged down by bullshit copyright or sequel spin-off mentality. It was just bam, this is a sick character, let's chuck him in for the fans. And who was going to show up next? How would they interact with the Symbiote storyline taking place? Will they side with us? Can we use them as an ally? Or will we make a decision that will impact our relationship with them? This shit was magic. Now, speaking of the combat, we're going to touch on that very quickly. And I've got a bone to pick with Insomniac with regards to the combat. Making a Spider-Man game, you literally have decades of features to take inspiration from when constructing your game. Again, in Spider-Man 1, wall combat might not have made sense because there's not really too many things that are sticking to walls. But in Spider-Man 2, you literally have a boss that climbs a wall, and you also have a bunch of symbiote infected people that can stick to walls. Why wasn't there wall combat? So you're making a Spider-Man game?
Yep.
And your game's also gonna have combat?
Yep.
And you see the history of combat from past Spider-Man games and can easily include some of the best features from those past games, including mechanics that would be situationally appropriate to make your game arguably the best Spider-Man game to date.
That makes sense to me.
So why did you not include the wall combat? And 15 years later, we're still doing this bullshit symbiote pot on the ground thing? Come on, man, think of something new. Now, the last thing I want to touch on in this game is just how goddamn funny it is. Do you remember in Spider-Man 3, the whole, I'm gonna die?
I'm going to die.
Now, this game has so many QTEs, but one of the best things to do is to fail them on purpose. I guarantee you it's some of the funniest shit you've seen. I'm going to show you just a couple.
God! Oh God! Gotcha! Oh!
Where are your funnies, huh? Where's my dopamine, bitch? So I hope you can see why Web of Shadows still reigns supreme after 15 years. Marvel Spider-Man 2 tried coming in hot like this.
It's my turn! It is, you told me it was my turn.
You can talk all that you want to, yell and scream, you lost.
It is my
You
turn.
lost the game.
But ultimately, when stacked up to Web of Shadows, again, a 15-year-old game, it leaves a little more looking like this. Now, I have given Marvel Spider-Man 2 a bit of a hard time, and I do think it is a great game, don't get me wrong, but it is a little hard to sing its praises when games like Web of Shadows were doing the same symbiote invasion story, if not better, 15 years ago. Mechanically speaking, Spider-Man 2 is probably the better game, but I rank games based on how much fun I had, and also how willing I am to go back and play them again. Spider-Man 2 loses in that regard. Hey, if you want to get these videos early, why not consider becoming a coffee supporter like these beautiful boys here? It's like Patreon, but better. But if you did like the video, please go ahead, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know your opinion down below. Do you think the symbiote invasion story was done better in Marvel Spider-Man 2, Or do you think that 2008's Web of Shadows still reigns supreme? Let me know your thoughts down below. Come join my Discord server. Call me an idiot if you want. I don't really care. And I'll see you in the next one.